What's up, everyone? Morey Croson here with the Performance Lab of California, doing another breakdown here on Christian Coleman from the plays for Tennessee, or runs track for Tennessee. Also, actually, is a football player, and this is a 9.82 100 meter, and he did it in the semifinals of the 2017 track and field championship. So we're going to just break it down here real quick. One of the things that stands out to me with his start, if we compare him to the guy on the right, which the guy on his right, I guess, on our left. He actually ended up coming in second. And one thing that really is an interesting comparison is as he gets going here, you can see how Christian has really a deep hip socket, right? So when he's running here, how much he's able to bend in his hip and this kind of angle within his spine through his front hip, and you can see how as he transitions, how far back that the hip is in comparison to the guy on the right, where it's just not as strong of an angle. Maybe we could get another kind of more side view. That's kind of the best side view, actually, was right there. But when he starts out, he really is able to keep a nice bend in that pelvis, and also is not, you can see here the comparison from one to the other, the spine is in a lot better position. So here it's much more rounded, here it's much more in a neutral spot, and this ends up being a big part of the race, is that Christian gets out to a really good start at the beginning. You can see where he starts separating. Again, this is the guy that came in second place, so he's separating from him really right away. And now what ends up happening as well, you can see, is that Christian, I think what's going to really make him elite, get him to the next level, is going to be once he can kind of straighten up that arm swing, make it so there's not as much wasted motion, it's going to help him out a lot. There's a little bit of side-to-side movement going on right now, but as he's able to get a little bit more control there, I think that'll help. But, on the opposite side of that, I think part of the things that help is using those pecs. Those pecs do what's called horizontal adduction, so it's going to bring the arms inside, and so that's what he's using a lot of, and he does a great job of keeping pretty loose, a good amount of movement within his arms, but it's also there's a lot of stiffness there as well, so he's generating a lot of strength out of his upper body. I think this one here is going to be a little bit better in terms of seeing how much range of motion. This is really the key thing that Christian's able to do, is he has a lot of ability to shift in his hips side to side while maintaining a lot of strength. Okay, so you can see how he's transitioning from his left leg here to his right leg, and how there's a lot of movement from that left hip swinging or kind of swaying over to the other side, and this makes it so he's able to get a big separation in his pelvic. Now we'll go back to the behind view or the side view. So now you can see he's able to get a lot of differentiation between his pelvis. So his right foot is really far up here, and then that left pelvis is able to really separate and get a lot of range. Same thing here. Okay, so that pelvis is really able to bend backwards, and this one's really able to come kind of upwards at the same time. And that's really one of the things that seems like is a key part of the speed, right? So we're watching the elite of the elite, and what he's able to do is he's able to get a lot of separation, a lot of movement in his pelvis, and because he can move so much in his bones, that makes it so his muscles have to be very strong. Okay, so he's able to get, again, a lot of hip movement, pelvis movement, but his muscles are so strong that he's able to do that effectively. Okay, so there might be a little bit of stiffness when he's going through some functional movements and stuff like that, and it would be great to improve kind of the ability for those muscles to bend, and that's going to be a key as he gets older to make sure that he doesn't suffer any injuries. But really what he wants to be able to do is, in order to continue to improve performance, is going to be to really challenge his ability, that pelvis, to continue wide ranges of motion and get good strength. So really doing exercises where he's in one foot is really far forward, the other foot is really far backwards, and being able to strengthen from that position. Okay, and so that's one of the things that we try to do at the Performance Lab, is we want to strengthen what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And I think if you can really get into really it would be like a half kneeling position or a lunging position, and then able to strengthen the legs from there, that's going to have a huge benefit in the ability to decelerate and also the ability to accelerate. Okay. In terms of, there's a lot of things that he does that we've seen before, right? He does a great job of just tapping on the ground and just barely touching there, which is excellent. Again, I think one of the big differentiators is he's able to rotate so well in that hip as we go fast, you can see how much his hips are moving, and that's where he's getting a lot of his power from. Again, the arms, while they are, working and they do have some strength there, he could become a lot more compact there with those elbows, and when he does, he's going to be able to be a lot more efficient in how he's utilizing his trunk. So right now, his hips are great. How well he's moving his hips is what's generating a lot of power, but he's also losing some power, fighting himself by having those elbows going so far out to the side. So you almost want to try to limit how much movement's going on there and try to make it so that the obliques and the trunk is, much more minimal in how much movement's going on. So, and that'll help him just generate more force, more power. So those are some of the key things to work on, and some of the key concepts that we understand here with Christian. And I think, a big key thing that we found at the beginning was how deep his pelvis is, and how important it is to be able to have that range of motion in the pelvis to, go into full flexion, full extension. And then on top of that, when you figure out that you have that good range of motion in your pelvis, and, because you have that good range of motion, you're able to activate a lot of muscles in your, hamstrings, glutes, quads, and those muscles are very strong. Now we want to increase that functionality. So go into lunging positions and strengthen from there. Just be able to challenge that pelvis and make it so the pelvis can really open up, and then work on the muscle strength is going to be key in making it so you can increase acceleration, top end speed, and deceleration. So as always, thanks for watching the videos. I hope we got some good content for you. I think there's a lot of valuable information there. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, Morey, M-O-R-E-Y, at yourperformancelab.com. We also have an online membership that I think is super valuable if you're trying to learn more about biomechanics. That's really what we talked about a whole lot here, is biomechanics, looking at the small parts of movement. I wish I can go further in depth here and make it so you guys could really understand. But if you're not really understanding, not fully grasping all this information, we talk a lot about it on our online membership, especially in our speed mechanics portion. If you want to get a individual breakdown for you, just similar to what we did here with Christian, please reach out to us. Same email, Morey, M-O-R-E-Y, at yourperformancelab.com. We could do a custom breakdown. We could also give you customized exercises, customized workouts to make it so you can start working on improving your body. So as always, thanks for watching the video, and we will see you soon.